24th of May. It is 5:30 p.m. I'm doing a daily analysis for the London session. We are looking at the British pound on the daily. As we can see, we are in an uptrend and currently in a bit of a bearish environment, but overall we are in an uptrend. On the 4-hour, we can see that we are following this trend line down, currently around this zone of 123 or 124, and so this is quite an area of demand where we can see that it has rejected this a few times already, and so a bit of an interesting time whether this is going to break through or hold steady and kind of come back up into this zone. We don't really have any news. There was news about 3 hours ago which had this bullish effect and come up here, and since then it's come all the way back down. So on the 1 hour, when we zoom that in, we can see this is kind of the action here. It's kind of more out in this zone, and so we can see it's in and around this demand and supply zone, and so ideally we want to be selling, but still confident enough to be buying as well, just being wary of what you're doing, how much your sizing is, and when to kind of accept that you may have gotten in at the wrong spot and then just do a defensive trade. So as we can see here, I'll just get rid of that. This is when the news hit. It broke up into this supply zone and then hit it twice. I was able to get in right when I finished work for a very small scalp. It just basically burst straight through when I put it in, and then I didn't even know that it had done that until I got home, and we got out for about $300-$400, so not too bad at all. Where we're setting up for the rest of the night, we can see we can't confirm it yet, but we're hoping that this turns back to the median so we can have some mean reversion for the rest of the session, which would be quite nice. But we can see it's come all the way back down. It's hit this demand zone that I've got set up and is now starting to trend back to the upside. So if we were to be trading, by the time it gets up into this zone, anything along here is going to be a great sell, and anything along here at the moment is a good buy, and that's kind of the zone there. If I was to try and take profit, I'm looking at this supply/demand zone here. I'm not looking to take too much. As for buys, definitely trying to take as little as possible. So this area here is kind of where I want to get out. Outside of that, if we move on to the US 30 on the daily, we are still bearish. As we can see, it's following this trend line quite nicely. On the 4-hour for the US 30, we can see that we have had some quite bearish action, and if we were to find the next demand zone, we're kind of looking where it is right now. That's kind of the area of interest. We can see that there's these little peaks through here, and this kind of where it's hit this demand zone, come back, and then hit it again, come back, and then gone through. So that's quite an interesting area. I would expect it to have a little return up. If we move closer to the 1 hour, we can see where it is hitting this demand zone, and yeah, same sort of thing. So getting in and expecting that to have, just up into this zone here. That's all we're after. We're not after major moves, but kind of just going down. If it does, it might come just below it and then return up into this zone. That's probably all we're looking for. I'm bringing that up because that's kind of the trade I'm currently in. So just to describe that, I've got those demand zones set up between here and here. We can see that it's almost hit that demand zone that we've been talking about, and I'm expecting it to come up to here, but I'm not going to have my take profit up there. It will just be a little bit below that. That's kind of the plan at the moment. Obviously that it's not a guarantee, but that was a pretty strong demand zone here. So even if it does decide to drift on a little bit and come back down, I don't expect it to go much further than, say, this zone here where the arrow is. So I'm not too stressed about that. That's kind of the zone that we're in. So just to quickly show you that on MT5, seeing as though we've got it in, we might as well do a live trade. So firstly, this is the British pound. Just zoom in so it's a little bit clearer. Firstly, I was able to get in here. This is when it peaked within a couple of minutes, came back down. It was a good trade. Now that I'm home, I've seen that it's gone through. I've layered in 3 times, which is in that demand zone that we were speaking of, and expecting it to come up to basically this hump here. That's kind of what we're expecting to get out at. If it does decide to keep going, I do have a backup trade here, but the way that it's looking, the way that it's kind of buffering, I'm expecting it to kind of push back to the upside, which will be nice. Going to the US 30, we can see that has actually placed. So all 4 trades have, and we can see that's exactly where I've had it, in that demand zone, and yeah, essentially just lay it in quite spread out, 10 lots each, and I don't if it gets to there, great. If not, we'll just kind of take it by ear as to where to get out. It might be in this zone here. Haven't really decided yet. I guess we'll just see how quickly it gets to the upside and how much profit we make. If it gets over $800, I'd probably just take profit at that point, which would be more than happy to do. But yeah, that's kind of us at the moment. If this all, I guess, if we finish up quite early, that would be nice, and we'll just be able to enjoy the night, and probably won't do any more trades after that. But that's what we're dealing with. So thank you. Have a good night. We'll catch up tomorrow morning to go through the end of day analysis. Thanks.